Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope y'all been having good holidays. Um, so I have another quite nice little issue on here for y'all. I think it's a common issue, but there's a 2007 Buick Encore with a 1.4 turbo on it. So the client brought it in because he took it and he had these codes diagnosed, and this is the code he was given, and he was also having these codes. He did try to replace the mass airflow sensor like it said here, and it said it didn't do anything. So the engine was kind of sputtering, giving him some rough idle, misfire. So he brought it in for us to check it out. He said after he changed out the mass airflow sensor, he returned it because it didn't work, and then he got all of those codes right there. So when he got it, what I did is I erased all of them, and sure enough, I'm getting this one is quite common, and then these two codes come off really fast on it. So what I did is I started checking this thing out, and you can also hear some type of noise, kind of like a bell, like a screeching kind of sound. So usually the first thing is I like to check for vacuum leaks, and I did find one of these hoses was kind of broken. I just kind of put that on there just to stop it. I did a smoke test on it, and I also got some smoke test coming out of here. But even while turning it on, you could hear it, because of the screeching. I couldn't hear it, but for a while, like, it stopped doing it. So let me show you what it does. I also got a video scope or boroscope to kind of show you what I did and what's the problem on there. So you could, can you hear it? So that's a problem in the built-in PCV valve that is leaking. Also, if you could hear that, you're supposed to have some type of vacuum in the crankcase, but not so much. So I even checked it with my vacuum tester. See, it has about 5, and it should have probably like close to 0 or 1. So that's the problem right there for that code, for that lean code. But these cars also suffer from another common problem. So on this car, we're definitely gonna have to replace the valve cover, como 292. So even when you do this, that will be a common issue, but there's another common problem to these cars. So I do have the vacuum on here, and even if when you buy this, it will tell you to check something else. So that hose comes from I believe from down here, from the turbo. But anyways, if you remove this, it just has the little clip. If you remove that and then put your video scope through here, or your, I don't know, video scope or boroscope, which I have here. There's an auto, but it's not that bright, honestly. You will also need to check something in there with your little 90-degree mirror on there. Kind of face it like this, and then stick it down in there, all the way down. So something else you want to also check out for if you're running rough idle and while you're doing everything, there's another common issue. I took a video for you to see, so I'm actually gonna have to replace both on these. We're about to call a customer, and I think just kind of hurt the price. I think an AutoZone for both the Dorman, they want about about 192, I think, for the valve cover and the intake manifold. I think if we want the original ones, the AC Delcos is like close to like 400 or something like that. But anyways, this here is the video. So when you put your mirror in there, you see those little hoses, those little, almost look like a honeycomb in that big hose. So that's supposed to be blocked off in there. It's supposed to be like a yellow, orange, an orange kind of deal. If you look up the intake for these cars, you'll see it. They even show this. Those are supposed to be blocked off as well. They're like vacuum. And on here, as you can see, both of them are gone. And I think it just happens right whenever the valve cover gasket or the PC valve goes bad. So whenever you have that leak, you might want to check this, because you probably do that job and then have to do the other one as well. You can see it right there. So that's me putting that video scope in there to try to look for that video on there, just me moving it around. So you see that little gasket that's supposed to be blocked off in there, it's missing. So that will cause both, rough idle, the sputtering, the misfire on there. So on this car, I'm definitely gonna have to change both things to fix the issue, because I'll fix maybe the link code, because what I did is I even blocked off that leak that I'm getting on the PCV valve. But since I'm getting more vacuum within the crankcase and coming out of the oil fill tube, or the check the oil level, I'm losing vacuum. So that code came on there, but it did get a little bit better. So I'm gonna replace that. Well, we're gonna talk to the client, see if they want to, but we're also gonna replace the intake, because we probably fix one issue and then we'll have another issue. So we're just gonna knock both of them issues out. But yeah, that's what y'all could do if you're having the same issue with all of those codes, with the lean codes on it. And so that's a little things you could check on if you're having this. I think I was even getting some oxygen sensors that is stuck on lean, but don't do that. First come, and especially if you hear that, like that little screeching noise like the bell, come and check this valve, make sure if it's leaking. You're gonna have to replace the valve cover, and like I said, you could pull it up, and you could even do the vacuum, just if you want to make sure. I'll probably put another video after I take all the stuff down, if the client says yes, so y'all could see the inside of the intake, so y'all could see the little valve. And they're probably all over the internet anyways, because it's a common issue. But I also want to put it on here for anybody that I have on my channel that maybe runs into this issue. So if you're having like a misfire, those lean codes, come and check this. It's a common problem, especially after the car is like close to 100,000 miles. This one has 94. So if you're around that range, you definitely might run into this issue. So come and check, make sure this is leaking, or that it's not leaking, and that you're not getting too much of an excess of vacuum coming in through your oil level tube. If you are, check it. And then the next thing, you might want to check in there to make sure everything on there is fine. So I'm buying this boat, so I'm gonna have to do both.